Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Yevamot. We are up to Perek Daled Mishnah Zayin. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana, Ranbai Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelo ben Chana bad Miriam, Menuchatam began Eden, Amen, and Avdu ben Chaim Nechaim v'Derefua Shelemav Daniel Shalom ben Rosa Betoch Shah Chulei Israel. The Mishnah teaches what happens to the dead brother's property when one of his brothers performs Yibum or Chalitza with his widow. HaCholetz Livimto, a brother who performs Chalitza with his Yevama, Hareu ke'echad min ha'achin ha'nachala, is like any one of the other brothers in regard to inheriting the dead brother's property, and they all divided equally. Even if there were other brothers who wanted to perform Yibum, and this brother went ahead and performed Chalitza and thereby prevented any one of them from performing Yibum, we do not punish him by making him lose his share of the dead brother's property. V'im yesh sham av, but if there is a father who is still alive, nechasim shel av, the property belongs to the father, since the father is considered a closer relative than a brother with respect to inheritance. Now, when a man dies without children or grandchildren, the Mishnah Baba Batra, chapter 8, Mishnah 2, discusses how his father is first in line to inherit. On the other hand, a koneset yivimto, a brother who marries his yivama, meaning he performs yibum with her, zacha b'nechasim shel achiv, he gains all of his dead brother's property even if their father is still alive. This is learned from the verse in Dvarim, chapter 25, verse 6. Vaya bechor yakum al shem achiv amet, and it shall be that the firstborn shall succeed to the name of his dead brother, which the sages teach means that the Yavam succeeds to his brother's estate and inherits it. The same applies to any brother who performs Yibum, not just the firstborn. And even if the Yavam immediately divorces the Yevama, the Rav explains he keeps the dead brother's property. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. Rabbi Yehuda Amer, Rabbi Yehuda says, ben kach u ben kach, whether this way or that way, meaning where the brother performed chalitza or yibum, im yesh sham av nechasim shel av. There is a father still alive, the property belongs to the father. Rabbi Yehuda understands the verse to be comparing the Yavam to a firstborn. Just as a firstborn does not receive a double portion of his father's estate while the father is still alive, so too a Yavam does not receive inheritance from his dead brother while the father is still alive. And the Rav tells us, ven ken halacha, the halacha does not follow Rabbi Yehuda, ela koneset yivimto, rather one who performs yibum with his yivama, zacha b'nechsei achiv, he merits, he receives his dead brother's property, afilu b'mekomav, even if their father is still alive. Now we have learned several times that when a man gives chalitza to his yivama, he becomes forbidden to her close relatives and she becomes forbidden to his. The Mishnah now lists which relatives become forbidden. If someone performs chalitza with his yivama, who asur b'krovotea, he is forbidden to marry any of her relatives who would have been forbidden to him had he married his yivama. V'asura b'krovav, and she is similarly forbidden to marry his relatives. In other words, we treat the chalutza like a divorced wife. Whatever relatives are forbidden to a man and woman after they divorce are forbidden to a yavam and yivama after they perform chalitza. These are rabbinic prohibitions. On the biblical level, and chalutza is not like a wife. Hu asu bi'imah uv'em imah uv'em aviyah. He is forbidden to marry her mother, her mother's mother, and her father's mother. Uvitah uvat bitah uvat benah, and to marry her daughter, daughter's daughter, and son's daughter. Ubachotah bisman shi kayemet, and to marry her sister as long as the chalutza is alive. Just as after a man's wife dies, he may marry her sister, as it says in Vayikra, chapter 18, verse 18. So too after the chalutza dies, he may marry her sister. V'achin mutarin, but the brothers of the man who performed chalitza are permitted to marry the chalutza's relatives. Only the brother who performed chalitza is treated as if he had been married to her, not the brothers who do not perform chalitza. Now the relatives to whom she is forbidden, via surah be'aviv uvavi aviv, she is forbidden to marry his father and father's father. Now although a woman is forbidden to marry her husband's grandfather only by rabbinic law, the rabbis extended this prohibition even to chalutza. So although our Mishnah does not mention it, she is also forbidden to marry the Yavam's mother's father or his daughter's son. It continues, uvivno ven bino, his son and his son's son. Now the son's son is also only rabbinically forbidden. She is forbidden to the Yavam's son, however, by a biblical level on account of her first marriage, since her husband was the uncle of the Yavam's son and she was the uncle's wife. Be'achiv uven achiv, his brother and his brother's son. The Mishnah teaches the impact of chalitza on the co-wives. Mutar adam bikrovat tzarat chalutzato, a man is permitted to marry the close relative of his chalutza's co-wife since he did not perform chalitza with her. Only the one who performed chalitza with him is treated as if she had been married to him, not her co-wife. Therefore, the co-wife's close relatives are permitted to him. V'asur b'tzarat krovat chalutzato, but he is forbidden to marry the co-wife of his chalutza's relative in a case where the co-wife's relative fell to him in a second ibum situation. So meaning if the chalutza's sister or other close relative married his brother, and that brother then died, so that the chalutza's sister now falls for yibum to the man who gave chalitza. This man may not perform yibum either with the chalutza's sister or her co-wife. So for example, there were three brothers, Reuven, Shimon, and Levi. Shimon married Rachel and died. Reuven performed chalitza with Rachel and may never marry her. Levi married Rachel's sister. Right? Reuven performed chalitza with Rachel and may never marry her. Levi married Rachel's sister Leah and also had another wife, Miriam. If Levi dies, Reuven may not marry Leah since she is his chalutza's sister, and he may not marry her co-wife either since she is the co-wife of that sister who was forbidden to him. Instead, he must perform chalitza with one of them. Again, the art school said it gives us a diagram on this case of co-wife of his chalutza's relative. Since the chalutza's sister is forbidden to him for yibum in this second yibum situation, so is her co-wife. And that is in a Mishnah Zayin. Mishnah Chet now teaches the law for a chalutza's relative who falls for yibum to the brother who performed chalitza. Hacholet sivimto, if someone performed chalitza with his yevama, v'nasa achiv et achota, and his brother married her sister, vamet, and then he died childless, meaning there were three brothers. One died, the second one performed chalitza with the widow, and the third married her sister and then died. Choletzet lo mitabemet, the sister performs chalitza with the remaining brother, but may not be taken in ibum by him, since as the previous Mishnah taught, she is forbidden to him by rabbinic law. Now the Mishnah contrasts the previous case with the case where his divorced wife's relative falls to him for yibum. V'chen ha-megresh et ishto, however, the word v'chen really means similarly. However, the law in the coming part of the Mishnah is not actually the same as in the previous part of the Mishnah. So the Gemara therefore says this should be read aval, which means however. V'chen ha-megresh et ishto, however, if someone divorced his wife, v'nasa achiv et achota, and his brother married her sister, v'amet, and then died, harezu petura mina chalitza mina ibum, the sister is exempt from both chalitza and ibum with the remaining brother, since she is forbidden to him by biblical law. A wife's sister remains forbidden to a man even after he is no longer married to his wife until the wife dies, as it says in Vayikra, chapter 18, verse 18. Therefore, the difference between a chalutza sister and a divorced wife's sister is that a chalutza sister is forbidden only by rabbinic law. Since on the biblical level she is permitted for yibum, she needs chalitza to release her from the yibum bond. A divorced wife's sister, however, is forbidden by biblical laws in erva, therefore she has no yibum bond at all. And that is an abotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.